pretty today.
What is going on, movie meals? Incredibles 2 non-spoiler review. We're here to talk non-spoilers of Incredibles. Let's just get into it, Kyle. What did you think?
It was like I never left. It was like I never left the theater when I was 10. Like, we immediately jump right back in, and it feels just about the exact same as it was before, but it felt that way in a great way. Like, you get that feeling that you got back when you were 10 with The Incredibles, how excited that we were to go see this family team up for an adventure, and it did not disappoint at all. The adventure in this was so much fun to watch, and it was so great to see these characters that we loved from the first develop themselves even more in the second one. Brad Bird knew exactly what he was doing when coming back to direct this. He took his time, he got the story to work exactly how it should have, and I think the payoff was really well. It works well for this time, and it probably will keep working well for the rest of the time as well, because this story just works for adults, it works for kids, it works for just about everyone. It works about for people our age. There was people our age in the theater because we were just so excited to see this. The voice cast came back, and they did exactly what they should have. They nailed their parts, and this movie was such a blast. Jack is definitely the best part in this as well. He did not disappoint with all like the different powers that he has, and they were showing even more powers that he has, and overall it was just such a blast and such a fun time. Not really, no.
A little bit.
Not really. We kind of saw that in the teasers and whatever.
Sure,
Yeah,
buddy.
well, that's what happened.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. I think it's really fun. It's action-packed. You're right, Jack is the standout. All the actors clearly love this property. It's really fun. There are scenes that I could watch 2 hours of just that scene. We're gonna do a spoiler review, so check that out and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's a really fun movie. It's like being, you know, the chemistry between those characters are what you love. And it's right back. The second you get there, it's back. And I had a blast in the theater. We were in a packed house. We're in a packed house full of... I went at 10 at night, and there was kids. There was people older than me. They were my age. It was packed. It was crazy. Sold out. All right, what's your negatives?
I will say that while I enjoyed like the villain's motives, I thought it was definitely weaker, and that's really hard to just say that because you're compared to the first one, and Syndrome was such a great villain that it was probably really difficult to try and top him. So the villain was a little lackluster, it's a little disappointing, but I liked the vibe that I was getting from this character as well, but it just did not quite work to the level of like Syndrome, which again is really hard to do. So that's really like the main thing that I have to say that was disappointing, but just everything else about this movie was just really, really solid.
Yeah, it's a predictable film. It's a predictable film. It kind of falls into the superhero trope, I think, happens with a lot of villains, where you'll get a great one in one movie, and then maybe the next it doesn't turn out as well. And yeah, the villain's the weakest part by far. It is a predictable script, but at the same time, you give praise to the script when it's the characters that you care about, because they're a lot of fun with their dynamic. So really, it's just the predictability and the weakness of the villain is probably the biggest complaints.
Yeah.
So what's your score? Food analogy this up.
Oh yeah, we have to do our food analogies as well. Do you have one already? You put me on the spot here.
Incredibles is a fun ride, man. It's a theme park you've been to where you get your delicious hot dogs, you get on a roller coaster. It's the same thing, you go every year, but you enjoy yourself. Boom.
Yeah.
You just steal my analogies every time.
I do steal your analogies.
All right, guys. Comment below what you thought of Incredibles non-spoiler. Go check out our spoiler review, which will also be up shortly after this. And as always, thanks for watching, Mom.
See you guys.